My name's Christina Wester, and this is Level Up. Level Up is a technique for clearing limits to creating the life that you desire. It combines ancient healing techniques with our modern understanding of brain hemisphere science to clear the limits that we have in our subconscious mind, as well as our conscious mind. So if you're interested in learning more about how and why Level Up works, you can watch the Intro to Level Up video on the Radiant Living YouTube channel, and be sure to click subscribe so you'll be notified of future episodes. Today's episode is focused on opening to the gifts that the universe is constantly providing to us. And the first statement that we'll be balancing during the first limit clearing process is, I open to the gifts that the universe is constantly providing. But if you'd like to use a different word, you could use gifts that the divine is constantly providing, gifts that source energy is constantly providing. You can use the word God, goddess, whatever word resonates with you. You can replace universe. So today we're going to be using asana, yoga asana, or poses from the Goddess Moon Salute or Moon Salutation, which these movements and the statements that we're going to be using together with the movements are designed to get the feminine energy flowing. So whether you're a man or a woman, we all have feminine energy within us. And for the last several thousand years, the feminine energy in all of us, in men and women, has been really suppressed. Our culture has valued the masculine, and our feminine energy of openness, being open to receive wisdom, being open to receive our intuition, our creative energy, all of these things are part of our feminine side. And so today our practice is going to be focused on really getting that feminine energy flowing. Okay. So before we begin the practice today, I want to take a minute to stand in Tadasana, which is a mountain pose. So your feet can be together or they can be a little bit separate, whatever feels more stable for you, but you just really want to ground the feet into the earth, lift the kneecaps so the legs are energized, lengthen the spine, tailbone is reaching toward the floor, and crown of the head is reaching toward the heavens. And then just bring the hands into prayer pose for a minute. We're going to breathe here, so close your eyes. And we're just going to notice how the body feels. We're going to notice how the energy feels in the body. So we have chi energy or prana energy. There are a lot of different names for the life force energy that flows through the body. And so just see if you can notice it, how it feels, how it's flowing, how it might not be flowing. Just take a few breaths here as you feel what the body feels like, and just notice how the energy is flowing right now. We'll just compare this to the end of our practice. So right now your job is just to notice without judgment. One more breath. And now we're ready to begin the practice, the Level Up practice. So for our first limit clearing process, we're going to be using the half moon pose. So you're going to interlace the fingers in kind of a steeple position. Inhale really tall, and then exhale to the side. Inhale tall in the middle, and exhale to the side. And so we're going to say the statement. We're inhale and then say the statement. Inhale, say the statement. And you'll do it. We'll do it. I'll do it out loud first while you say it silently, and then you'll say it out loud while I say it silently. And after we we'll do 2 times out loud and then 2 times silently, and then we're going to integrate with the goddess pose, which is you're going to bring your legs really wide, keep your knees at about a 90-degree angle, or don't let the knees go past the toes. So really get those toes out wide, and then the arms go here. So we'll integrate the statement with the goddess pose at the end. So the new belief that we're going to be creating with this limit clearing process is, I open to the gifts the universe is constantly providing. And you can just replace the word universe with whatever word feels appropriate for you. So you're going to interlace the fingers, inhale tall, and then say it silently as I say it out loud. I open to the gifts the universe is constantly providing. Finish the exhale. Then inhale tall. I open to the gifts the universe is constantly providing. Inhale tall. Let's bring the hands back down and then interlace the fingers the opposite way. And then now you say it out loud while I say it silently. And now we'll integrate with the goddess pose. Get those feet really wide. Come down as low as you can. Say it silently to yourself. I open to the gifts the universe is constantly providing. Okay, so for our next limit clearing process, we're going to be using the star pose and the triangle pose. So star is a really powerful pose. Get the legs pretty wide here, toes pointing out, and then the arms reach out, fingers wide, and you're really extending your energy down into the earth, out into the heavens, inhaling the spine long. So that's star, and then you're gonna, for the triangle, you're gonna turn, we'll turn the left toes in, and then the left hip goes out. So you really wanna tilt that hip and then come into your triangle pose. So if you can only come down this far, that's fine. You can rest your hand here, don't rest your hand on the knee. You can rest your hand on the shin. If you can go all the way down, you can rest your hand on the floor. If you would like to rest your hand on something else, you could get a stack of books or a yoga brick to put your hand on. So we're going to come into our triangle pose, and we'll say the statement 3 times out loud, 3 times silently. Then we'll come back into star. Take a good breath here, and then turn that toe in. Get the hip out. Come back into your triangle for 3 times out loud, 3 times silently here, and then back to star to integrate. So the statement that we're going to use is, I easily flow with the natural rhythms of life. So first thing is to come into the star pose. So really wide feet. Really keep the shoulders down away from the ears. Lengthen the spine. Inhale, and then turn the toes in. Let that hip go out. Really tilting the pelvis as you come into your triangle pose. So really think about lengthening the spine while you're here. I'll say it 3 times out loud while you say it silently. I easily flow with the natural rhythms of life. I easily flow with the natural rhythms of life. I easily flow with the natural rhythms of life. So now it's your turn. So inhale back up. Really strong into that star pose. Inhale. And then exhale, turn the toes in, send that hip out, and come into your triangle, however deeply you can go into the pose. So inhale, I'll say it out loud while you say it silently. I easily flow with the natural rhythms of life. I easily flow with the natural rhythms of life. I easily flow with the natural rhythms of life. Your turn. Be sure to inhale before you speak. Inhale to come back up. Find that star pose. Inhale. One more time. I easily flow with the natural rhythms of life. So for the next limit clearing process, we're going to use the pyramid pose. So you're going to, you want your hips to be facing forward and your toes both facing the same direction. If you need to turn the back toes out a little bit for stability, that's fine. But you want to have a really wide stance here, and think about pushing the heel toward the floor. If it doesn't touch the floor in the back, that's fine, but just, you know, really think about sending the energy back through that heel. And then we're going to fold forward. So if you need a chair, you can just have a chair here and rest on the chair. You can have your hands here. However far down you can go. If you need a stack of books, you can use that. I'm just going to go as far forward as you can, and as you're coming into the pose, think about lengthening the spine and leading with the heart, because you really want to get a lot of length in the spine, and then let the head hang forward. So this is the pose where we'll be saying the statements, and then we're going to walk, just turn the toes and walk around to the other side, and then we'll find our however far down we can go on this side. I'll say the statements there, and then we'll go into the middle. So for our integration, just let the head hang. If you need a chair, you know, to rest on, you can do that. And then we'll bring the arms, if you can interlace your hands in the back like this, great. If you can bring them a little bit further for a little bit more stretch here, do that. So that's our pose. Okay, so our statement for this limit clearing process is, I open to receive the guidance of my intuition. So get into your pose. Really extend the spine. Get as deeply into the stretch as you can. And then we'll inhale. I'll say it out loud first while you say it silently. I open to receive the guidance of my intuition. I open to receive the guidance of my intuition. I open to receive the guidance of my intuition. Now you say it out loud while I say it silently. Remember to inhale first. And slowly make your way over to the other side. Come up a little bit to really extend the spine, and then sink into the stretch as far as you can. Might be different on this side, and that's okay. So I'll say it out loud first, you say it silently. I open to receive the guidance of my intuition. I open to receive the guidance of my intuition. I open to receive the guidance of my intuition. Now it's your turn. Be sure to inhale before you speak. Now walk back to the center, toes come to the front. If you can interlace the fingers in the back, great. If not, just keep your hands in front of you for support. One more time with the statement, I open to receive the guidance of my intuition. For the next limit clearing process, we're going to be using a lunge. So you're going to bring the front leg forward and really extend it pretty far forward, because you don't want the knee to come past the toes here. And then the back leg is extended, knee on the ground, and you just really want to press the pelvis forward to get a good stretch. So we'll be here, we'll say the statement 3 times here, and then we'll do it 3 times with the heart lifted. So you can have your hands on the knee, or if you want a little more challenge, you can bring the arms up. So we'll do the statement 3 times down low, 3 times up high, and then we'll switch to the other side, and then we'll bring, come back into a kneeling position for the integration pose. And the statement is, I trust my intuition and follow its guidance. So let's get into our pose. All right, so really stretch as deeply as you can, pressing the hips. You want to feel a good stretch through here. So So I'll say it out loud while you say it silently. Remember to inhale first. I trust my intuition and follow its guidance. I trust my intuition and follow its guidance. I trust my intuition and follow its guidance. So now just come up with the hands on the knee or the hands up high. Inhale before you say it out loud. And then slowly come over to the other side. Really extend that front leg so that the knee doesn't go past the toes. Get as deeply into the lunge as you can. And I'll say it out loud while you say it silently. I trust my intuition and I follow its guidance. I trust my intuition and I follow its guidance. I trust my intuition and I follow its guidance. So now bring the hands to the knee, lift the heart. If you're going to interlace the fingers, do the opposite interlace than what you did last time. Inhale tall. You're saying it out loud. And then back to the center into a kneeling position. I trust my intuition and follow its guidance. For our next limit clearing process, we're going to be using a wide leg squat. So you just want to squat on one leg and then extend the other leg out with the toes pointing up. And you can keep the hands down on the ground. We're going to interlace the fingers, so you can just leave your hands down like this, or if you want to bring them up into more of a prayer pose, you just really want to think about lengthening the spine. So dropping the tailbone down and lifting the heart if you can. If you have to leave your hands on the ground, that's fine. And then we'll switch to the other side. Say the statement 6 times there, and then we'll come, for the integration, we'll come back into a plain old squat and bring the hands in a prayer pose if you can. If not, you can leave them down on the floor. So the statement for this limit clearing process is, I recognize and receive the symbolic messages from the universe. So you can switch out the word universe for whatever word feels appropriate for you. So go ahead and come into your squat. Wide leg squat on one side, interlace the fingers. So say it silently as I say it out loud. I recognize and receive the symbolic messages of the universe. I recognize and receive the symbolic messages of the universe. I recognize and receive the symbolic messages of the universe. So inhale before you say it out loud. All right, so shake it out. If you need to wiggle your hips, roll your ankles, whatever you need to do to just release any tension from that pose, and then we'll scoot over to the other side. So this time interlace the fingers the opposite way that you had it before. So inhale. I recognize and receive the symbolic messages from the universe. I recognize and receive the symbolic messages from the universe. I recognize and receive the symbolic messages from the universe. Your turn. might shake it out if you need to. And then we'll move into the squat to integrate the statement, integrate this belief into our subconscious mind. I recognize and receive the symbolic messages from the universe. So for the next limit clearing process, we're going to put all of the poses that we've done so far together into the Goddess Moon Salute or Moon Salutation. So we're going to interlace the fingers, inhale tall, exhale to the side, inhale tall, exhale to the side. Then we'll come down into Goddess pose. Really reach out, inhale for the star pose. Turn the toes for the triangle pose. Just come as deeply as you can into it and then bring the hands down. If you need, go ahead and get your books nearby so that you can, if you have something that you need to lean on. So then we'll go into pyramid and then into the lunge. So just make sure your knee stays above the ankle, and then we'll lift the heart, inhale. If you want to add the arms, you can. Exhale the hands back down, and then move into the wide leg squat. If you want to bring the hands into prayer pose, you can. It's not necessary. Then into the full squat, then into the other wide leg squat, other side, and then into the lunge over here. Inhale tall, and exhale down. Back into pyramid, and then into your triangle. So it might be good to have books on either side if you're going to be using some help there. Going to inhale up into Goddess, the star, and then back into half moon. Inhale. So the statement is, I easily recognize and capitalize on the synchronicity of my life. So we're just going to say that at the beginning and at the end. We'll say it out loud while we're doing the half moon there, and then we'll concentrate on doing the rest of the sequence, and then we'll say it again. So you can say it silently in the first time and then say it out loud when we come back and finish the sequence. So go ahead and come into mountain pose, really lengthen the spine, hands into prayer position, interlace the fingers, inhale up. I easily recognize and capitalize on the synchronicity of my life. I easily recognize and capitalize on the synchronicity of my life. And then down into Goddess. I easily recognize and capitalize on the synchronicity of my life. Inhale tall. Turn the toes into your triangle. Inhale. And exhale, bring the hand down into pyramid. Inhale. And exhale, the pelvis forward into the lunge. Inhale. And exhale the hands down. Inhale into the squat. Take a breath with each squat, really lengthening the spine. Inhale and then exhale the pelvis forward. Inhale, lift the heart. Try to interlace the fingers in the opposite way now that we're on the other side. Into pyramid. Exhale into the fold. Then you're going to inhale your arm up into triangle. Then inhale as you come up. So now you say it out loud. I easily recognize and capitalize on the synchronicity of my life. Inhale. Now inhale and say it 2 more times. And now let's integrate the pose, or integrate the belief. I easily recognize and capitalize on the synchronicity of my life. For our last limit clearing process, we're going to be using a twist. So you're going to lie down on one side and just, you can have the knees bent. You can have them crossed a little bit if you want to really get the knees kind of grounded down. You can put the hand here if you want to. And then you're just going to take your top arm and inhale tall, lengthen the spine, and then exhale your way around. So it's okay if this arm doesn't touch the floor and rest on the floor. You can just let it float there, just letting that twist happen. With each breath, the twist will go a little bit deeper. So the statement we're going to use for this limit clearing process is, I nourish my bliss and replenish my creative well. So go ahead and come into your pose. Get into that twist. So inhale before you, well, I'll inhale. You say it silently to yourself. Inhale with me. I nourish my bliss and replenish my creative well. I nourish my bliss and replenish my creative well. I nourish my bliss and replenish my creative well. So now you say it out loud. Remember to inhale. All right, so slowly come out of the twist. Inhale that arm up. And then you can just roll over to the other side. I'm going to switch so that I can be facing the camera. All right, so inhale the spine long and exhale into the twist. So remember to inhale before each time. Say it silently to yourself while I say it out loud. I nourish my bliss and replenish my creative well. I nourish my bliss and replenish my creative well. I nourish my bliss and replenish my creative well. Now it's your turn. Inhale first. So now slowly come back out of it. Inhale the arm tall. And then just roll over onto the back. Hug your knees. If you want to rock side to side on your lower back, you can do that. And then we'll bring the hands into prayer pose. Say it one more time silently to yourself. I nourish my bliss and replenish my creative well. So now you just want to come into Shavasana. Bring the feet out. Let the feet fall open. Tuck the shoulder blades up underneath you so your shoulders can fall open and fall toward the floor, and let the heart be open to the heavens. The palms face the sky. And just close your eyes. I really encourage you to spend some time here, noticing the difference that you feel in the energy flowing through the body. So the poses that we've done today have opened up the meridians in the body through which the energy flows. So just notice how that feels. Compare it to the beginning when we were standing in mountain pose and noticing the way the energy felt flowing through the body at that time. Just take a moment of gratitude for the time and the space and the resources that have allowed you to care for yourself today, to clear some limits that have been holding you back from expressing your full potential in the feminine energy. So I really invite you to stay in Shavasana for a while. Set a timer if you need to, so that you can totally relax and totally just soak up all of the bliss from the new beliefs that you've just created. So today we've really created a new platform from which you can live your life. Replaced some limiting beliefs with some more supportive beliefs about really expressing and embodying fully our feminine energy, really opening to receive, opening to our intuition, to the messages that the universe is sending to us, opening to the flow of the rhythm of life and the synchronicity in life. All of the synchronicities are messages, and really recognizing and opening to synchronicity, and then to our own creativity, our own creative part in participating in the synchronicity of life. So be sure and subscribe to the Radiant Living YouTube channel if you want to be notified for additional Level Up episodes. And I do welcome your feedback, so you can leave feedback in the comments. You can also go to the radiantlivingandlearning.com website and click on the Connect menu item and send an email that way. You can also go to the Radiant Living Facebook page and send a message that way. So if you're interested in doing a personalized, private Level Up session where we create the belief statements that you particularly need in order to clear a certain limit, with whatever goal you want to create in life. So really any kind of limits that you're bumping up against in creating the life that you desire, we can create belief statements to support the life that you desire and replace those limits that have been holding you back. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.